Alright, so it's that time of the year again. I thought I'd re-update this because the last time I made this video was like 4 months ago. The sad thing is, and this is why it's slowly hurting me the more I like realize it, and you won't realize it, I don't think so, until you actually look into it. It's that this thing has not been updated like as much as you think. In that many months, I haven't made a guide, right? What have we gotten on this boss over here? You gotten Merlin, Monspeed, and Roxy. That's it. Like literally. Over on Skull and Hottie, I think we got Hawk and this, right? This is the last time I updated this. And then over here, we didn't get anything, right? Pretty sure. Was Dan of Liz exists? That's one. But I'm pretty sure Jenna was here, and I already covered that one. So let's just go with maybe Dan of I don't know if it was Dan of Liz first. I don't know who came first. So whoever came second is the one that I didn't cover because it was months ago that I did that, right? But today, the relic guide, I don't want to update this and talk about like basically who now you should go for, what you should kind of do with it, and as time has progressed, the better relics of the bunch. Now that, like, again, if you're farming this, you might only farm a few. So what's the few to get? Let's talk about it. New to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's hop into it. Let's break it down. So first things first, let's go through, we'll start with the bird, work our way to the right. That's always how I like to do it. With this entire thing, like still, I think the highlight of this entire kind of wheel for everything, it has to be first, the unit specific to the boss, correct? In this one, it's going to be Meliodas. You want to get Meliodas' relic because Meliodas is just 10 out of 10 with her relic. So first things first, always craft the relic for the boss specific, then proceed to craft the other relics, because if you make your life easier, you're going to farm better. If you're farming better, you're going to farm faster. If you're farming faster, you're going to get relics faster. It's a quick little equation, hard to do it, but it's very easy to think about, so keep that in mind. Again, over here, you're going to go for Yorm, and then over here for Skull and Hottie, you're going to have to go for Thonar. Each relic is very good, and I do think that the best relic of them all has to be this one over here, just because this is insane without this relic, so you need this relic to do it. This also, it's like, really, in comparison, Yorm isn't the best with her relic. Like, I don't know, I've always beat it without Yorm's relic, but it does help, so it is good. Sometimes it does screw you because of the blockade effect or something like that. At one point when they, you know, block off those skills, it ruins you, but it's still good, right, in comparison. But, like, again, Meliodas and this one's more of a must-have. As time has progressed, the birds become so easy, you don't even need Meliodas' relic, but here, you need the relic, so keep that in mind, right? Beyond looking past that, if you were to look at it, the other character, in my opinion, that's like seen a lot of play recently is actually Jenna, just because of, again, the boost to human allies. So that does exist. Whether it's like the best of the bunch, I can't really say that right now, but it is there. It's like on the kind of top of the list here for this entire boss being, again, the bird. Beyond that, though, we used to say like Ragnarok Bond, go for that, because again, it's just CC on your base or bench for your team. But again, so many other characters now exist where you don't even need Ragnarok Bond, which is sad, but that's the case, right? So again, this is mainly for just CC. This really isn't that worth it. If you get an LR, you're gonna need it, right? But right now, it doesn't really need it. Bond's kind of fallen off so hard, you can't even use him anything, but just give him his relic, I guess. Like, again, it's so weird because it's been so much time this entire thing changes. Obviously, you're going to need this relic over here. If you're running human team, like that's what I'm trying to say here, Jenna exists and this exists also. The relic is good because it does give like a revive in a way, and a lot of the time it does proc in a good way. Sometimes a Tarm Link or whatever, it could ruin it, but it's good. It's a very good relic, so I do recommend that this is a sort of investment you go for if you are, again, running human team. For Green Arthur, it's just good. I think it's a pretty good relic, so grab that one also. LR Escanor, you need CC. It's human team, right? That's like the biggest highlight from the bird over here. Human team is just like that, right? So you need this over here. Escanor, it's a very mid relic, but if you want it, I guess, yeah, right? Again, not really the best relics over here. For Merlin, it's like these characters aren't really used anymore per se, but you can just craft them to craft them. Mainly, I'm trying to go for like the highlights here of this entire thing. So again, it's Meliodas. Brynhild per se, right? This is like a must-have. If you can get this one, this is insane. Still, for so much content. There was a new Nidhogg team that got actually crafted around Gother. I want to check that out later on, but he is just a very good character and a very good relic, so do consider that one. Jenna also, because again, boosting human allies, pretty good relic, so try to invest in that one. Twiggo's still a very good relic, so again, consider investing into that one. When it comes to it, Gil Thunder, if you're using him as a bench unit, you need the CC, right? Because again, he does work for, I think, defense. I think that's this one, right? Yeah, I think it's 60% defense like that. So if you are using it as a bench unit, this does work out perfectly. These ones over here are pretty mediocre. So again, Zaratross, it is what it is. But for this list, remember, so many characters have fallen off, like, we don't use them like that anymore, so we're not gonna, like, say, like, oh my god, broken, you know, relic, but probably, like, the newer one being Jenna. If you're still using this as a bench unit, you need the CC. Bond kind of wants his. Over here, kind of wants it. If you want to do this for PvE, you could do it. PvP kind of want it. It's not bad. It's all right. But with Magilda, get Magilda's relic. Brunhild's is fine. This is pretty good. Jenna's is pretty good. So that's kind of what Bird looks like now, which is crazy to think about, but that's what it is, right? Over here, Goddess Liz. Again, this Goddess Liz, you don't use her anymore because you have the better Goddess Liz. This just amplifies the shields. If you want it, hey, go and have fun with it, but really, it's just not that good. For King, it's okay, nothing too special, but if you want to use it, you could. You know, again, nothing too special. I think that King's is actually really good for King and Jelly King, so if you're running any sort of fairy team, kind of going to want that. Over here for Elaine, you're also going to kind of want that because, again, it's pretty good for the teams that is associated. For Ludo, it just gives extra CC and whatever, and that's pretty good for Ludo specifically. For Margaret, this is a very good one. This is like the highlight of them all because, again, it does help out this Margaret for when you farm Nidhogg, right? This boss, or this thing gives like stats or something to goddess allies and whatever. So it's a very, very good relic, and this is like kind of the highlight of this category, in my opinion. Red Tarmiel, because you use it as an association every single day. It's CC at the end of the day. That's what it is, right? That's there. This over here is fine. Red Tarmiel, if you use that for whatever, it is a good relic, so that's there. If you're, again, using it for association CC, so you need it, right? Over here, if you're using it for association CC, it's not a bad relic, but yeah, that's there too. Probably one of the best relics also over here, the HP increase here. From this one, this unit is used for like final bosses, hero arena, right? Can't forget that. This character is used constantly, and this relic is very good, so keep that in mind. And also it uses or works on this one over here, so keep that in mind, right? Very, very good relic. Obviously, Yorm, I said, is very good. I love this relic, actually. Very easy to craft, and it does so much damage versus Jenna's. I didn't craft Jenna's yet, but I did craft this one over here. It's just a very good relic, all right? So if you could craft it, I would highly recommend you go for it. There's also this over here. I've never crafted it. This over here, I've never crafted it. And I'm pretty sure this is good for fairy allies, I think, actually, something like that. This does give something good, so do keep that in mind. If you're running fairy team, that's where it is. That's like, I've seen this character used constantly in Chaos Battle and a few other contents like that, but really, if you're running fairy team like that, it's Chaos Battle. That's where it goes, right? Because again, it doesn't surround like the current meta. That's basically how it is. Now, Skull and Hottie, very bad boss for me, or something that I did farm so much in JP. I farmed it very little. I got like the highlights and ran away. That's literally how I did it. But what did I consider the highlights? I consider the highlights to be these characters over here. Nanashi is the greatest relic ever when it comes to reviving a meta. This gave Unknown so much power. I would craft this if you can. This relic is just, it's chef's kiss. That's what it is. It's that good. Such a good relic, reviving such an old character. That's what I want relics to be for other characters, but they don't give a damn, right? Like, this is what you want relics. This is like the pinnacle of a relic, right? But that's there. Obviously, your first relic should be this, right? You want this to farm this easier. So get this, then farm everything else easier. Being, again, I would say that this is one of them. King for PvE content was also very, very good. I don't know, time has changed a little bit, but for back then, this was the best one, right? That was like why I crafted it. Beyond that, Zeldris does have a... Whoops. Zeldris does have a very good relic too for bench units, but again, like, we've seen less play with him here and there. He kind of works off debuffs, right? So, and then debuff metas are currently being cleansed off every turn by Melly. But if you're still running a debuff team, this is still wonderful. Things like if you have them debuffed, they lose 10% of their attack, which is pretty solid. Matrona has a great relic actually for Chaos Battle and some other contents. I think Hero Arena also, you use her to kind of tank a lot. But yeah, that is a very, very good relic. This used to be good for like Ragnarok teams, again, in PvP only, and Ragnarok team is just not good in PvP right now. So again, that's there. But another pretty solid relic here. Scotty has a wonderful relic. If you're using Scotty to farm Skull and Hottie, that's there. And then you also use Scotty in a lot of other content, like bypassing what is this. So definitely another top tier relic. This one, again, Droll it's okay. If you want to craft it, you craft it. At a point, you have to craft them all, so that is there. Chandler, yeah, it's good, because Diva Team still works. And, you know, you could work this with whatever it is right now. And also with Chaos Arena, you know, you do kind of use Chandler on some Demon Team if you're trying that. It does work, so you can try it. Go for it. It's going to be fine. Cusack, not really, in my opinion. Mono, yeah, again, at a point, you'll have to craft them, but really, it's just not the best. Over here for Knighthood Boss, if you're playing Knighthood Boss, like, actually, you need this because it does boost stats and whatever. And this is just 10%. That's just 10% stat increase, which is, such a bad relic. But that's there. For Nidhogg, though, this is like the highlights, right? You want Freya first because, again, she's very good for this. You don't need her, right? We now have Margaret. If you already have Margaret, you don't plan on using Freya ever. Don't use it. I still think that Freya with Margaret together is like a very easy team and the easiest team possible. But if you're not using that, then don't get it. But it's only a Nidhogg specific relic. That's there. I then went for Freyr second. If you run Unknown Team, this is a very powerful relic, and it will help you farm every other Damati piece faster if you can get an Unknown Team together, whether that be Albedo, whether that be Ragnarok, Freya, whether that be, again, Freyr obviously, whether that be Tyr, whether that be so many other characters that are unknowns that work perfectly in every content. They will get such a boost from this. It'll be like farming in seconds. That's how good that relic is, right? So that's there. I went for Awakened Roxy because, again, Human Team. If you are going for Human Team, you kind of want this. It is a very powerful relic, and it is pretty solid, right? Bypassing all of that stuff, I think Deanne has a wonderful relic. She's used in a lot of content constantly. So you want to go for Deanne's relic next. If you're using LR Melly, you want to get LV Melly's relic. It is actually very, very good for what it is. Zeldris has sadly fallen off, so we can't talk about him. Over here, we do have Meliodas, right? The AMLE version. This one is still good, and it actually works very well in Chaos Battle. This constantly makes a comeback on his own Demon Team, minus Demon King, because he's already restricted, and whatever. So it's a pretty good relic for, again, Chaos Battle, but again, most people don't play Chaos Battle. This is a very good relic for, like, cheesing a lot of stuff, and you use it in Chaos Arena, right, to get, like, that passive to kick up to actually destroy them, and keep doing that every single turn. That's literally what this is used for. So, again, if you want to go and use that for cheese teams, it's pretty good. Again, a pretty mediocre relic, per se, for a character that's already mediocre, so you really don't want to craft it. And then, you know, there is Liz, but it's already such a mediocre character, plus we have a new Liz. Not really worth it. Still, I think that if you use him for Demon Team, just get the relic, CC increase, and it's just an okay relic, right? Beyond that, there is this, a brand new relic. It's pretty good, actually, in comparison to the other ones. I would definitely say you can go for this one, right? Like, yeah, you can definitely go for this one. It's just, it's sin restricted. So, am I going to be farming the dungeons with this? Nope. Am I going to be playing only PvP with this? Probably. That's it. That's literally it, right? So, kind of, in my opinion, a dud relic. I think that the other ones that I offered were much more important to go for. Again, if I were to say, like, a thing, get this first. Go down here, get this second. If you're running Human Team, you get that third. If you're not running Human Team, get one of these third. If you're running LR Melly, if you want this for Deanne, she's a very good character with it. AM Melly at some point. Melaskula, if you're trying to do that cheese team with Chaos Arena, and you know that that's what you're going to go for. That's all the things, right? But beyond that, it gets a little bit more droopy, right? I don't think the Monster Pizza is too good. That's like a thing to get in the end. When the character is already innately so low, they have to give like a CC increase or a stat increase to save them, right? But no, let's just give them a relic effect that will totally help. Like, no, they need a stat increase or something, like a stat increase plus the relic effect. But, you know, again, Netmarbles not ready for that conversation, all right? That's been it. Just want to talk about that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, hopefully I got my points across nicely, but as time has progressed, most of us are already crafting all of them, but if you're thinking about what to craft first, there you go, all right? Take care, have fun, and that's been it from me.